Okay, now we're gonna look at the attack. You're not pushing the cart, by the way. Okay, so your Ana has to go back to push the cart. That's a little. That's kind of I don't know what you. Yeah. I don't know why you wouldn't just plant yourself on the cart there. Like, I get that you're trying to take angles to shoot, but honestly, fighting here is not that important. You fight once your cart gets to this corner. That's when you need to fight. Yikes. So in that fight, I saw a lot of wasted damage potential. And what I mean by that is, yes, it's good to charge up right clicks. It's an over-reliance on right clicks. And I see this with a lot of Zens, actually. I see this with tons. I'd say most Zen players have this problem in the lower leagues. Because you watch people like Jonak and Violet and Alarm and are like really high level Zen players, and on stream you see them charge up right clicks and go for the one-shot kill, and you're thinking, oh, I needed to be doing that. But knowing to balance your right clicks with your regular left click is actually really important. And here, the time that you spend charging the right click, if you end up not hitting all the orbs in your right click, means that you could have been shooting all those as left clicks and done more damage to either the shield or the tanks or whatever. Okay, so that's all damage pressure that is lost out. So for example, why are you charging here? Right, so all those, that's 5 shots that you could have just put into the shield to help crack it, rather than wasting it doing that. Yeah, so that's unfortunate. Your Ron just a lot of shatter through. I think his shield might have broke. Okay, your Ron answers with a huge shatter of his own. Okay, so that moment where you turned around to put the orb on your Ana is an example of good target prioritization for healing, because your Ana was the one, and I'm pretty sure she communicated that to you, which is why you turned around. This fight would have been perfect if you'd built trans here, because your team kind of needed it. But that's just unfortunate. The good thing is they use Nanoblade here, which means your next trans that you're about to have, you could use it to do whatever the hell you want. Yeah, so you don't have to, like Flux is out, Shatter's out, they have nothing. They have absolutely nothing. You can use the trans to just push aggressively, and you should call that to your teammates, be like, hey, we have Nanoblade, we have Grab and Trans, we could just push really aggressively here. Again, you're shooting without discording. It's always discord first. Yeah, so right there was like 4 back-to-back charge-up right clicks that didn't hit anything. All that could have been left-click spam that would have hit something at least. Okay, good use of the cover to stay alive, and it's good that you didn't use trans there. Your Genji's carrying you. Yeah, and now They can recontest, but you're gonna have the graph. You should not be up here. I don't know what the hell you think you're doing up here, but you should not be up here. Because they're waiting to group up. If that Ryan and the Sigma had been on this corner instead, you're dead here. You just get rocked and you're dead. It looks like they're gonna come out through main though, which is weird. I don't think I usually see that. You need to be discording the people in the graph so that your teammates can kill them. It's like here, you need to be waiting for the shield or angling around it, and just you need to be discording all these people. This does nothing. No one's shooting at him. Oh, and you get picked. Okay, that's fine because you get the good spawn and you have trans still.
The outcome is not preordained.
But yeah, a little bit weird positioning there too. Like you're not using any hard cover, you're just standing in the open here. Like you should be using this thing. You could have been using the cart like Ana was. You could have even been using this thing. Or even the pole. Or you could have been using this building. Right? Or you could have even just been holding this corner. Or holding the stairwell. But you were just sitting out here in the open, so you died. So positioning again. You should be communicating to your team that there's 3 on cart, so they need to not be pressing W right now. You're staggered, yeah. That's a huge pick from your Hanzo. You should not be up there. Why? Yeah, that was an incredibly greedy overextension. That should never be happening. Your whole team is getting staggered now. Everyone needs to press the S key back to spawn. Back to spawn. Whether or not they're pressing W. Okay. You're again just popping. But they res, and that's gonna turn that around. They're still down there, Ana, but you have no heals. Yeah, and now you're still getting staggered. Again, you need to be communicating to your team that they shouldn't be going in when you're still respawning. Also, I would have even just used the trans here to keep the tanks up. That's actually okay to do, because you still have an ult advantage here. You should have just pressed Q and just moved over here. They're still in such a shitty position. Yeah, you guys are staggering. This should not be happening in 3300. This is something that happens in, like gold. This is none of these players are using their brains right now. And you get picked here. Oh, you got picked there last time. Your Genji's popping the fuck off. By the way, that's a dry blade. Wait, was that a dry blade? Holy shit, yeah, it was a dry... Wait, that was a dry fucking blade. Oh, no, wait. Wait, who did she nano? She didn't nano your Genji. Oh, she nanoed Ryan and it just wore off. Yeah, so that was a dry blade from your Genji. And he popped off. So at this point, I would just prioritize on healing, keeping the harmony on the Genji and just enabling him. Because he's your team carry here. You're overextended again. Their team is closer spawns than your team. Yeah, now you're backing up. That's good. Again, in situations like this, I would harmony the Genji so he can skirmish better there. Also, just a little thing. Always Discord someone before you trans, because it stays up on them while you're still transing. So always do that. You should never have your Discord down when you're transing. That's also kind of a terrible use of Transcendence, because... Oh, okay, actually, no, never mind. It's a Nano Visor. It's a Nano Visor. I don't mind that. Where is your Hanzo? Your Hanzo is too far back, I think. Yeah, so your Hanzo's outside the trans, so he dies. Yeah, honestly, kind of a poor use of trance, because the one person who's vulnerable to it is outside of your trans range. Like, Genji has Reflect and Dash, and plus he's hiding, so he should be okay. Your Ryan's shield can easily withstand Nano Visor. None of your other two players are in line of sight, so this is kind of a low value trance. It would have been better to either just hide behind the payload or around this corner, and then if the soldier like maneuvers out over here and tries to LOS you, then you can pop it if you really need to. But this doesn't really do anything. At least you healed your Zarya with it. Again, Discord first, Harmony second. You keep doing the reverse. Yeah, and if you had if you had trance for the blade, that would have really helped your team. That's him throwing. What the fuck is he doing? Your team has Grav Dragon. I was literally just about to say, your team has Grav Dragon, and your Genji has already built another blade. He literally bladed like 30 seconds ago, and he's built another one. But your Zarya, okay, as soon as you saw this, as soon as you died, honestly, yeah, as soon as you died here, you should have pressed tab and then been like, ooh, hey, we have Grav Dragon. Hold Grav and drag, like, combo them together. And then maybe your Zarya wouldn't have done this, which is a complete throw. And actually, unless your Genji carries you again, you actually are going to get full held here. Because the Hanzo Dragon is a terrible ult by itself, and no one else is even close to their ults. And you only have 2 fights left. Well, you have 1.5 fights left. Again, Discord first. Just Discord the people who your Genji's dashing at. You should have Discorded the Rhine first, so that he could easily kill him. Because again, this is a dry blade. Okay, you're the other team C9s. I'm gonna be honest, this doesn't look like a diamond game to me. It's let alone 3300, which is getting up to high diamond. This looks like a 2700 game at best. At best, with like several players who are only here because of their aim and nothing else. Okay, so you should get the good spawn. Yeah, you do. You should be aware that there's still enemies behind you. Okay, now you're seeing them get cleaned up. Again, you're in front of your entire team here. You should be Discording. Discord. That's unfortunate. You should be fine though. You're honest a lot. You should be Discording. So right now, the only person on your team that's doing any damage while the enemy Rhine shield is still up is your Rhine. Right? So you should be Discording. You should prioritize Discording this Rhine so that your Rhine can win the 1v1. Right? 25% extra damage on every swing, every fire strike is huge. Instead, you spend all this time during the fight rotating up here without LOS on anything, and then your first instinct is to miss a right click and not Discord anything. So again, there is a big issue here about your understanding of Zen as a hero. You are a Discord bot. Zen's entire purpose revolves around his Discord orb. Okay? So Discord, 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 Discord everything. Right click, you don't need it. Left click, you don't need it. Heal orb, you don't need it. You just need to be Discording things. the higher you climb, the more and more this philosophy becomes true, because the better your team is, right? The better your DPS are, the better your tanks are, the better everyone is, which means more damage is going to be being focused out. So it becomes all the more important that you Discord people consistently to enable your team to do more damage. Again, there's just constant right click after right click, but you're not hitting any of them, right? So they might as well be left clicks. Okay, lost the duel to the Genji. It's unfortunate. It's a pretty fair duel between a Genji and a Zen. Yeah, and again, you should be... Oh, okay, so again, you should be thinking every time you're respawning, what's our win condition? Alright, we have a minute and a half. Realistically, yeah, you could get it. You could do it in one fight, right? Not right now, because their team's pushed up. But if you get to right here, and then take a good team fight with, like, say, Nanoblade, and then you wipe their team, you can easily push it in, and they're just gonna be coming out of spawn, right? At which point, you know, you're gonna have built a grab, you're gonna have built a dragon, you might have built a trans if you get a lot of damage done. And if you've been tracking ults, you'll know that they have Nanoblade of their own, right? So you really need to be focusing on building up your trans. So you should be thinking about all this while you're in spawn. That's a really dangerous position to be in. Yeah, that's a lot of spam that can come down that hallway and kill you. Yeah, these are some really aggressive peeks, dude. Like, I would never peek an Ashe at that distance, just out in the open. Like, maybe in lower leagues you get away with it, but even in Master... Yeah, see what I mean? They're just gonna punch the shit out of you, dude. Yeah, I mean... Okay, nanoblading while down too. Doesn't matter, your Genji's cracked as fuck. Yeah, 4K. Okay, and now your win condition has been met. What I described has come true. Your Genji has made it come true. Your Genji is hard carrying you. Like, this guy's a smurf, hardcore. I guarantee you he's a smurf. There's no way he's diamond. He's not diamond. Even diamond Genji one tricks with like 3,000 hours who are hard stuck diamond are not that good on Genji. And he's actually holding... The fact that he held a blade before when your team used grab, because you didn't need it, that goes to show he's not diamond. Okay, so you built your trans, so you should win this. Just press Q when you hear Nanoblade. You need to be transing. Where are you going? Okay, so again, Discord before you go into trans. Also, why were you going off to the left here? I would have just stood on cart. I would have used the cart as hard cover. Going in here is risky because you don't have any. I mean, you don't have any LOS on anyone from in there on the other team. Yeah, and again, you don't have LOS on any of your teammates except your Zarya, and you don't have LOS on any of the other team. You actually moved too far away with the trans. Is your Hanzo up here? I think he's up here. Where is he? Oh, he's back here. Okay, so you were trying to get to your Hanzo. Okay, my bad. So you were trying to get to your Hanzo and he gets picked. At least I hope so. Oh, he was already dead. Okay, so he died before you even, were aware that he was over there. Yeah, again, think about where you're gonna end your... Okay, so first you should have discorded someone while you were in that. I think you did, actually. I think the Ana is discorded. Yeah, she is. Okay, so that's good. Secondly, you kind of need to work on where you end your transes a little bit more. Again, why go in the left room? This doesn't make any sense to me. You have no LOS in there. Just look, if you stand out here, or if you ended your trans on the cart, right behind both your tanks, look at this. Look at all the targets that you could just dink away at. But there's no... Who are you going to shoot from in here? Like, you're really trying to get that Ana. I don't mean to say this in an insulting way, but it's very clear from this that your right click tech still needs work, right? Like it's not consistent at all. I actually don't think we saw a single right click insta kill one shot in this entire game. So to keep doing that, thinking that it's gonna work, seems a little off to me. I'd rather just be like, if I knew that I can't consistently do that, I would just sit here and just M1 at people with Discord. That does a lot more than repeatedly trying to go for this. Yeah, and like I said, now you're overextended. And you die. Oh no, you're actually alive. Okay. Honestly, that mercy could have killed you. But yeah, you do die. And now your team loses. Not gonna lie, that's kind of a throw. Like, look at the situation at the end of this, right? You're down your Hanzo. Oh, you lost your carry, that's why. I didn't see that the first time. Yeah, and then your Ana gets picked and their Genji gets rezzed. That's really unfortunate. I'm not sure if it would have made a difference staying out here discording people, but it would have been a hell of a lot better than going in here and shooting at the Ana with right clicks and not killing her. Just cause, like, when that Rein charged in, you discord him, he takes so much more damage, right? And then maybe you can kill him. Like, I don't know, discord the Mercy, maybe your Rein can Fire Strike her while she's rezzing and your Zarya can get some damage in, or you can get an orb in and cancel the res, right? But you're hyper focused on that Ana, and it kind of costs you. Again, I don't know if it would have made enough of a difference to win the game, but it costs you for sure. Yeah, so things to work on, your positioning is first and foremost. Work on your positioning, because you're overextended and feeding in at least 4 instances in this map, which Zen is probably the worst hero to be doing that on, just because you're the value you bring with Discord to team fights, and because of how slow you are, it takes you the longest to come back, right? Secondly, you need to be thinking about the actual game. You need to be calling for your team not to stagger, right? Not to be making dumb mistakes, not to be feeding, because your team basically fed this entire game on both attack and defense. About 75% of this game was your team staggering itself. Okay, so that's easily avoidable. Just call it in team chat. Third is an over-reliance on the right clicks. If you can consistently land right click one shots on people from, like, you know, like from distance, by all means go for it. If it brings you value, do it. If it doesn't bring you value, don't do it, right? It doesn't matter if Jonak can put 5 orbs in someone's face from 200 meters consistently. If you can't do it, there's no point copying him, because it doesn't bring any value to your team, right? It's honestly more valuable just to be shooting shields at that point than it is to be doing that, right? So I would reconsider your general just play style. Yeah, and last, this kind of ties into your team not feeding as well, because you just didn't have really good opportunities to use your trans, but trans usage this game was kind of poor. Especially, I want you to think more about where you finish your trans, because every single time you came out of a trans in this game, you were in a worse position than when you entered it, which kind of also ties into your positioning. So hopefully this helps you. I really hope that this kind of opens your eyes to what you can improve on. I can tell you that if you improve on these things, your mechanical ability is fine. That doesn't matter at this point. Your mechanics got you to 3300. If you work on these things that I described, you'll easily improve to master it and beyond. But these are the things Well, I find it easier to improve on things like that than mechanics, because mechanics you just simply have to grind, you have to practice, you have to go to aim, you have to do aim trainers. It just takes time and effort. This, I think, is a lot easier to improve rapidly at, because all it takes is for you to just think. Every time you're spawning, just think about what your team, what ults does your team have, what ults does the enemy team have, what's the win condition, right? Where is the objective? How many fights do we have? Things like that. It should all be going through your head. Do I need to swap? Why do I have I been feeding, or like is someone else getting too much value out of killing me on the Zen? Like just things like that are things that you should always be thinking about. So I hope this helped, and yeah, let me know if you need more help.